Okay. Again, good morning, good day, and good evening from wherever you are tuned into this week's webinar session on our Move to Cloud webinar series. We will start today with a series regarding the topic Clean Core. We will have quite some sessions following in October, November, and January. And today we would start with introduction to the Clean Core strategy. I have our SAP expertise into the call, and I would hand it over to Natalia. Before that, as always, if you have questions, please put it in the Q&A box that you see below, and we will either answer it during the session or after that. With that, Natalia, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining our Cleancast webcast series. It's great to see so many participants today. Over the series, we'll take you through the Clean Core journey, why it matters, what it is, and how to make it real in your organization. We aim to provide you practical insights, also best practices, some examples also to help you get the most from your SAP ERP transformation. My name is Natalia Soltau. I'm the product marketer for Clean Core at SAP, and I'm joined by my colleagues Bertrand and Maurice, who will share insights on the principles, integrations, and operations afterwards. In today's call, we cover the foundation of Clean Core, why it matters, how it works, and how to measure progress. This will set the stage for the deep dives into extensibility, business processes, and data. So the upcoming sessions are on October 14th and November 13th about extensibility, on October 21st and November 11th on business processes. We have 2 sessions on data, and in January, we are bringing everything together with more practical steps. Now I will start with the foundation of Clean Core, and then we'll introduce to you 2 Clean Core principles: integration and operations. These are areas won't have separate deep dive sessions until 2026. So that's why we want to take the chance today to share some more practical insights about integration and operations today with you. So Clean Core. One of the biggest challenges companies face today is staying competitive and relevant in a world where change is constant. That's why Clean Core should be a central part of your transformation story with SAP. A modern cloud ERP system is no longer just a back office tool, it's a strategic asset. Let me break down a few key areas where this becomes real. First of all, agility and flexibility. Businesses need to react quickly to market changes, new regulations, or new opportunities. Old systems slow this down, but a Clean Core Cloud ERP lets you scale and change processes quickly and cost-effectively. Real-time data and decisions. Outdated siloed data make decision-making hard. A Clean Core Cloud ERP provides real-time insights across departments, helping you make smarter and also faster decisions. And last but not least, innovation and growth. Technology moves fast. A clean, flexible cloud ERP lets you adopt innovations like AI, machine learning, and IoT easily, supporting growth without expensive rework. So in short, a Clean Core turns ERP from a back office tool into a strategic growth engine, delivering agility, speed, and continuous innovation for a competitive edge. So if Clean Core is the foundation, the next question is what sits on top to create real business value, especially with AI. First of all, application. Finance, supply chain, HR, customer experience, they are all connected. Processes like order to cash run smoothly across the organization, providing a consistent base for AI improvements. Second, data. Great processes aren't enough. You need the right data. SAP harmonizes information from SAP and non-SAP system into a single source of truth. AI gets the full business context, making its insights meaningful and reliable. And Joule orchestrates AI agents across the systems, creating continuous learning and improvement, a cycle of efficiency and innovation. So the power of SAP comes from application, data, and AI, all working together to drive ongoing transformation and prepare your business for the future. So we've now just seen how SAP applications, unified data, and AI come together on top of a clean core to unlock real business value. But before we can get there, we need to overcome challenges to actually unlock innovations. Many organizations face three common blockers. First of all, lack of standardization. Second, excessive customization. And third, disconnected data, all of which slows innovation. The solution is a clean core strategy with SAP Business Suite. By reducing complexity, staying closer to standard, and ensuring integrated processes with consistent data, organization will gain agility, simplify upgrades, and also enable reliable analytics with AI-driven decision-making. In short, a clean core doesn't just remove obstacles, it unlocks continuous innovation and speed. So the next question would be, what exactly do we mean by a clean core? What is a clean core? A clean core is a set of guiding principles that makes your ERP agile, innovative, and efficient. It's about building a stable, standardized foundation that allows you to continuously innovate without being slowed down by complexity or old systems. An important part of Clean Core is that you only add extension for processes that truly differentiate your business. Everything else should stay in the standard to keep your system simple, efficient, and easy to update. So that's the high-level definition of Clean Core. And let's break this now down into our 5 key principles. So we have 5 guiding principles in Clean Core. First one is business processes, and the goal is clear. The goal is to stay competitive by using standard processes wherever it's possible. The second key principle is extensibility. You want to create extension for processes that truly differentiate your business. Decouple extension from the ERP core so you can innovate without jeopardizing stability or any upgrade paths. The third principle is data. Manage data according to the latest standard, ensuring consistency, quality, and the ability to power AI and analytics effectively. The fourth key principle is integration. Design a reliable and also flexible system landscape, so processes flow seamlessly across applications and functions. And the last principle is operations. Keep operations efficient, ensuring upgrades, maintenance, and scaling happen smoothly and also cost effectively. Together, these 5 principles provide the discipline that makes Clean Core real in practice. So we have seen what a Clean Core is, and we talked about the 5 guiding principles. Here's now the impact Clean Core makes in your business. First of all, it drives innovation, very important. It shifts IT spend from fixing old systems to unlock new ideas. Second point, faster results. If you add extensions only where they truly differentiate your business. Better decisions. Clean and well-managed data support smarter and also faster choices. And last but not least, lower costs and risk. Standardization, they reduce your maintenance and the complexity and security issues. In short, a clean core isn't just technology, it's also a strategic advantage for your company, giving your organization agility, efficiency, and innovation to stay competitive today and also ready for the future. So far, we have covered why clean core matters and what it is and the 5 guiding principles. And now we look how to get there. So how to establish a clean core. RISE with SAP provides a proven path to modernize your ERP and transition to the SAP Business Suite. It's more than just a migration, it's a transformation journey, turning your ERP into a strategic platform for growth. We'll explore the how also in more detail in the upcoming webcast sessions, which we already planned, showing you how to apply clean core principles in practice to make your ERP transformation sustainable and also value-driven. Let's take a closer look at the methodology that makes this transformation a structured, predictable, and successful approach. The RISE with SAP methodology is a proven framework that helps organizations transform their business with confidence. It provides 4 key elements: standardized framework, integrated tools, expert guidance, and tailored transformation roadmaps. In essence, the methodology ensures your transformation is not just a technology project, it's a strategic business journey that delivers measurable value. With a clear methodology in place, organizations can move confidently toward a clean core, adopt innovation faster, and continuously optimize their ERP landscape. So, and as part of the RISE with SAP methodology, we have the RISE with SAP methodology dashboard, which makes the clean core approach actionable. It provides visibility and also guidance and analytics to assess the system adherence, manage extensibilities, and also plan upgrades. The dashboard is hosted on SAP Cloud ALM. The dashboard is also continuously updated with new KPIs, features, and persona-based views to support your transformation journey. By combining the clean core principles with the dashboard, organizations can confidently move toward a modern and also agile ERP landscape. So here are 2 examples of customers, Hitachi and Accenture, that are benefiting from their clean core strategy. We will share more detailed customer example when we dive deeper into each dimension. And you can also find additional references on our sap.com clean core page. Just scan the QR code in the upper right box. So what are the key takeaways? Legacy ERP systems often carry custom code over years, which slows down innovation and also increase complexity. RISE with SAP helps organizations build a clean core, a simplified, modular, and upgrade-friendly ERP foundation. So by minimizing customization and following the 5 clean core principles, business can innovate faster, reduce their costs, improve their agility, and also ensure better data quality for AI-driven insights. A clean core turns ERP into a platform for continuous growth and also business value. That is why we highly recommend to include the clean core approach into your transformation journey. With that, I would like to hand over to Bertrand to share insights on our integration principles. Please, Bertrand, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much. So now we're deep diving into the integration principle. My name is Bertrand Henkel. I'm the integration principal lead within the Clean Core program within SAP, and therefore responsible for the content of the integration principle. As mentioned by Natalia previously, we will slightly touch upon the integration as well as the operations principle due to the fact that we haven't scheduled a deep dive on those two dimensions, but are planning to have them on Q1 next year. And with that said, I will also jump into our newly introduced measurement framework, newly in the sense that it has been introduced this year, beginning of this year, where we say for each dimension, and we will see that picture then also within the other deep dive sessions with the other principles, that we have our principles in here. Sorry, the mouse. The principles in here. And for each of the principles, we have defined governance and maturity topics. These are guidelines, check marks, where we see if customers are following these best practices, these guidelines. This will automatically then also improve the KPIs, that is basically the technical system data that we extract from our ERP system in order to measure the clean core for each of the principles in here. And this will be then, as mentioned by Natalia, be reflected in the RISE with SAP methodology dashboard. And the key is really here about the governance and maturity. If you have defined a strong governance and a strong guidelines, having an as-is analysis of your current state of your clean core for each of your principles, and identify gaps where you want to be in each of those dimensions, in each of those principles, and define action items and follow-ups in order to close this gap between the current and the target score, you would then automatically also improve the KPIs in here. With that being said, I would now jump also into the deep dives of the integration dimension. What is clean integration? In the end, we say a clean integration is a robust, reliable, and future-ready approach to connecting systems. It means robust and reliable in a sense that integration enables a seamless end-to-end business processes and being able to run the business processes across the system landscape. Future-ready, that we are using and leveraging the modern integration approach. It further says, built on standardized, secure, and scalable technologies. Standardized means basically that we are promoting SAP managed integration content wherever possible, which is available on the SAP Business Accelerator Hub. This will then also come to the Y part here below, where we say this will reduce the TCO and the TCD because it is all SAP managed. The innovation will fly in within the innovation and the updates of SAP. So customers and the enterprises and IT colleagues doesn't need to take care of maintaining APIs, maintaining integration, and therefore it will also lower the TCO and TCD. Secure and compliant in the sense for auditing, but also identifying or making an API more secure by, for example, leveraging the API management, where we say having a secure layer, especially in the cloud, is essential in order to reduce cybersecurity risk and other security topics. But also we are looking into the authentication and a secure message transfer in here. Scalable means by using and by leveraging modern integration approach, by enabling reusable integration patterns, customers are more flexible and more able to adapt and react faster to business challenges and new requirements or new systems that needs to be integrated. For example, when customers having a merchant acquisition system landscapes needs to be merged quite quickly in order to have a smooth transition phase and a smooth integration of the other system landscape. And therefore, it is important and key to also enable a scalable integration landscape. As mentioned, this is really also then promoted by architectural consistency, where we say, okay, you have a strong governance, an integration governance board who is making consistent decisions based on specific criteria that are defined within the organization. They define the integration strategy and have a clear visibility of all the integrations and can make reusable content available wherever needed. Further on, it promotes also it also promotes a centralized monitoring and orchestration of the integration, reducing operational risk through a proactive and central and end-to-end integration monitoring by the tools leveraged, for example, for expert tooling or the Calm Cloud ILM for the end-to-end monitoring. And with the use of SAP managed integration content, extensions are also ready, which means standard APIs provide a specific standard extension points that can be used, which then also adhere to the extensibility guidelines in order to enhance or to modify existing integration content from SAP by using and leveraging released APIs. Here below, as mentioned, you will see the why part of integration. Why does it make sense? As mentioned, if you use standard SAP content that is managed by SAP, you will enable seamless upgrades. You will enable faster adoption of SAP innovations by also reducing the TCO and TCD, because it is all delivered and managed, maintained by SAP. Further on, you will then also be secure and compliant in terms of the security parts, but also on cybersecurity things. And with the use of modern integration patterns, you would also boost the agility and the flexibility, as mentioned, by introducing an event-driven architecture, an API management, where you have an API hub available, for example, to really enhance the reusability and integration patterns in order to make integration reusable and faster integrated with other systems. And last but not least, it also improves the operational efficiency by using standard tools provided by SAP to have a central monitoring view of all your integrations. With that being said, we also have 4 building blocks on how to achieve a clean integration. These building blocks are defined by the first one, which is defining an integration strategy for the upcoming 5 to 10 years, considering the product availability, but also the product or API versions, product features and roadmaps available on SAP, and where you are leveraging the integration as a solution advisor methodology, which is a framework that helps you to define and assess your integration strategy for the upcoming year. It's a framework that can be adjusted for different purposes, for different customers and different customer needs. But here we really are trying to establish an integration strategy that we know for the next 5 to 10 years, where do I want to be in our integration strategy and on the integration landscape, and how can we reach this? Especially, we will enforce a strong governance and also having a transformation roadmap in place, having an as-is analysis or as-is view on the current integration landscape, and defining a migration path and a journey and transformation path in order to reach the target future-ready integration architecture. How do we do this? With the second pillar of the integration, clean integration, by leveraging best practices and modern integration technologies. Here we are especially looking into the Business Accelerator Hub on modern and cloud-ready interface technologies such as web services, ODatas, CDS views, and events that are all available on the Business Accelerator Hub. But also we are looking into the different integration approach that are available and that are cloud ready. For example, the event-driven architecture, leveraging the event mesh, for example, but also looking into an API management where we say here you can have another API management hub where you can provide all your available APIs, secure your APIs with different policies that are also available within the Business Accelerator Hub. And last but not least, also leveraging expert monitoring tools within the SAP S/4 system. For example, the application interface framework for the expert tooling. But for the overall end-to-end monitoring tool, leverage the cloud ALM, application lifecycle management tool, in order to connect the S/4 system, the integration suite, but also all the surrounding LOB cloud solutions to have a clear end-to-end visibility on your integration processes. Our third pillar is about the operational excellence. Here we really say in order to have a good and a clean integration, it is key to establish an integration governance board, which defines integration guidelines and enforces consistency and high standards throughout the organization by predefined integration processes. It will also look into a good documentation of the integration. This will create visibility on your integration landscape and also helping in order to enhance your integration requirements or monitor your current integration landscape. Last but not least, we are also looking into the enablement journey to always enable your integration experts on the different personas for the new and fast-paced technology. The fourth pillar and the last pillar is about a continuous innovation approach. Clean core is not a big bang, it's a transformation journey, which says that on every point in time you would need to have a clear visibility on your integration landscape, on what kind of APIs or interfaces you're using, have a good documentation on them, therefore defining a strong and a good documented interface repository. Secondly, having always a migration evaluation in place by defining migration criteria in order to also define then in the end your transformation roadmap. And last but not least, to have ongoing and regular checks on your interface repository, on your integration architecture in order to improve your current integration architecture. As mentioned previously in the introduction, these are covered within the governance maturity part. We're having defined integration strategy architecture where we have different practices, so-called practices, where we will touch upon the 4 pillars that I've just introduced. And these are in the end then covered from the technical point of view, the system data on the KPIs by these 4 KPIs, the upgrade stability, the operational risk, the innovation adoption, and the agile decision making and the operational risk. With that being said, I'd like to hand over to my colleague Maurice about the operations principle.
Thank you, Bertrand. So yeah, just to introduce myself. So my name is Maurice Moran. So I lead the principle of clean core operations to explain and embed the governance practices and tool chain to support the overall clean core journey. In terms of what I'm going to introduce today, so it's very similar to what Bertrand is, but in the context of operations. So the first part in terms of clean operations, right? Why is this an important element for clean core? Why is it this part of the clean core journey? And what is it? Like, why does it matter? So clean operations, as will be evident from the initial graphic that Natalia showed and from the graphic here on the right hand side, clean operations is a cross-dimension approach and a cross-dimension enabler that supports the best practices, the governance, the people-centric approach for clean core, and the end-to-end tool chain as a foundational enabler. As you'll have seen in Bertrand's presentation, and as is the case with all of the other dimensions, operations has a touch point everywhere. But the intent with operations is, like I said before, is to set that foundation. And then in each dimension, they go into their individual specific operational practices to support that. The intent here is to allow SAP to be agile, right? To support business agility through transforming the SAP application landscape to be agile enabled and innovation ready and bring faster value to your business. So what are we trying to do? So we're trying to enable transformation. That's our key goal here. So while the other areas focus very much on, say, processes, focuses on enabling you to build the best process, operations enables you, your IT organization, to work directly with the business to enable that type of transformation. So it's to drive agility by aligning the IT transformation with business transformation. No cloud transformation is an IT initiative on its own. It requires close collaboration between business and IT together acting as one. In order to realize clean core, we do need to establish governance, right? To actually understand what people are doing where and give advice and guidance on what should be done rather than everyone having to exist in silos and figure it out on their own. So there should be an organization-wide approach to support best practices, while providing this golden path, while also realizing in niche areas there may be need for non-standard ways of working, but those should be far more limited than maybe currently the case. We're looking to improve efficiency, so establishing this integrated tool chain, so making sure there's a seamless transition of information right from the discovery stage of the transformation through to run operations. And this is both from a technical point of view, right? The assets that move across the tool chain, but also from a visibility perspective. Again, how do you communicate between the implementation partner, your IT team, the business teams about what is coming and when? The integrated tool chain provides that capability to have good collaboration between teams. And finally, we're also looking to strengthen reliability of the solution landscape. So again, if we want to increase the speed of innovation, increase the level of innovations that your business are adopting, what is delivered to them must be reliable so that you have trust in the system and clear understanding of what the system is supposed to do. So on the right-hand side of the screen here, we have the main principles and topics that encompass clean core operations. So as you see, right, governance, operational practices, the tool chain and software stack are across all the dimensions. In the governance area, two of the main topics we will be talking about are establishment of the practices and roles, responsibilities, and best practices for your organization from the Customer Center of Expertise program, of which I believe there was an earlier session on this within the overall series to go into deeper dive detail. So it's the overall organization setup, and you will have heard Bertrand mention the COE and the integration topic as well. So what we're looking here in the operations is establishing the overall framework, whereas again, Bertrand will go into the details that are required specifically for the group that are involved in building out the best practice for integration. We're also talking here about one of the key enablers for process, which is the Solution Standardization Board. As Natalia mentioned at the very start, right, one of the key goals is standardization of processes insofar as possible. So only have deviations where there's a clear business need and rationale to do so. When we talk about Clean Core and the Solution Standardization Board, we're really talking about requirements management. Everything Clean Core can ultimately come back to there is a business need or a business requirement to fulfill a business activity. So in this, the requirements management, we follow the fit to standard approach and say, if you want to do this, here's the standard option to do it. If not, how do we do it in compliance with a Clean Core approach? Whether it's building a side-by-side extension, creating new data structures, creating an integration between different systems. These are all core aspects that are considered within that Solution Standardization Board in a transformation program. We talk about the operational practices, again, heavily embedded and aligned with the customer-centered expertise approach. So these are the practices, we will come to them in the governance and maturity framework. These are the practices required to design, implement, and maintain an SAP solution landscape. So these are all of the typical, I suppose, IT practices you would expect, but also the best practices, again, like we mentioned here for the Solution Standardization Board. We look at the end-to-end tool chain. Again, SAP are investing heavily within this overall end-to-end tool chain to bring the architecture design to to process and solution design to solution implementation and how to manage the run and continuous improvement of the SAP landscape. And this brings a huge level of value to all of our customer landscapes in terms of especially this continuous innovation and continuous improvement cycle. We look at the software stack. Again, the processes are built on a software stack, and making sure that you have an innovation and secure ready landscape is a key aspect of this. And then on the bottom, when it comes to specific operational practices, we're looking at increasing operational efficiency, making sure all of your operations are secure by default, embedding agile delivery and operational excellence, and tracking and reducing technical debt over time. Because it's not realistic in all cases to never accrue any technical debt, because there may be business needs to do so where there's no standard SAP solution. There may be a need to build something in a way that is not perfect, but needs to be done in a certain way based on the level criteria for extensibility. But you should be continuously looking at this through future innovation cycles to bring back the standard where possible. So how do we go about this? So when we talk about embedding governance and agile practices, we're looking at allowing for greater transparency and flexible decision making. So in terms of transparency, that's a little bit where the tool chain comes in. It's a little bit about the communication patterns within the program. Making sure that the business are brought along the journey right from the beginning. This is a key part of bringing the business along this Clean Core journey along with IT. We look to set up the frameworks like the customer COE, the Solution Standardization Board, Operation Control Centers, SAP Activate methodology, looking at how you approach organization change management, and we look at the rise of SAP methodology, all of which are interlinked to a certain degree. And we also integrate application lifecycle management and DevOps practices with a transparent release management approach. So we build and innovate and release faster in accordance with the larger releases that are coming within our cloud products and within your cloud ERP landscape. Again, looking to the agility topic, we want to speed up innovation delivery. We don't want to wait months for a business to be able to deliver an innovation feature for the business. This needs to be delivered quickly, safely, and efficiently. So we're looking at cloud and agile practices. So we mentioned DevOps before, and we look to support this with tools. We look to strengthen communication. We look to build in a shift left approach for early security integration. This is also the case for testing. It's the case for requirements management, early integration as well. We look to enable and adopt the end-to-end tool chain across the entire application lifecycle to build the streamlined operations and boosted collaboration. We look to align the strategy, architecture, processes, and post-go live operations through consistent information reuse. And we integrate operations with organizational goals. So again, coming back to this customer-centered expertise topic and the visibility that the tool chain gives you, you can build metrics to support your overall business strategy. And we look to enable you to leverage SAP innovations to maximize business value. So again, one of the goals is to allow you to keep your core system landscape on the latest and greatest release from SAP so that you can quickly adopt these new standard technologies. We look to ensure that you reduce operational and cybersecurity risk. It's a key aspect to make sure that you have a safe and secure landscape so that you have confidence from both your business and your consumers that you can fulfill their needs. And this is done through adopting regular feature package stack release and support package stack updates. And of course, right, we ensure across the entire landscape that we adopt a security hardening approach to make sure that it's secure, compliant, and future ready. Next, coming to the topics of measurement. So how do we measure these topics? So we look at governance and maturity. So in these practices, we're looking at how do we manage governance across all of the different dimensions. This is done through the practice around clean core governance. We look at, is there a plan to adopt an integrated business transformation tool chain and have a tool-based approach to support what you need to do with each phase of the life cycle. We look towards building continuous improvements for these requirements. So when we continuously look at old requirements and new requirements and adopt this fit to standard approach, we look at adopting and strengthening the test management and execution and automation approach. We look at improving software delivery efficiency. We look at managing secure operations. We look to the practice of release management to ensure that you have a clear strategy for all of the releases of all the products that are running in your landscape. And we look at managing IT and IT operations excellence. And this is supported then by KPI categories around software stack, tool chain adoption, again, clean core requirements, agile delivery and operational excellence, operational efficiency and secure operations, which are technical measures, as Bertrand mentioned, that should improve with improvements in the governance and maturity area. So that's it from me from the point of view of explaining and giving a quick ground introduction into the area of clean core operations. And what I want to very quickly do is give you a quick snapshot of what does this Rise with SAP methodology dashboard actually look like.
Maurice, you need to share a screen. I'm currently sharing, so you need to share my screen and we can show it.
It should be sharing.
Yes, it is sharing. I can see the SAP. I was actually seeing it.
And I'll share again, make sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So hopefully that last conversation everyone can see what I was speaking through. But yes, so just very quickly, I'm not going to do a very lengthy introduction to this. It's just to give you a snapshot of what the Rise with SAP methodology dashboard looks like. So you've seen the very first screenshot from Natalia earlier on. So in the Rise with SAP methodology dashboard, as Natalia mentioned, it's hosted on SAP Cloud ALM, and it's in this Rise with SAP tab. So what we have is a system view currently and an operations view, and these will be extended with the recently released KPI information over the coming months. So to begin with, the system view. So this is where we see some technical details around the clean core KPIs. So if I choose a different one, this one. So in here, so currently we have, I suppose, four main areas that are being measured. So we have the software stack, the status of the clean core tool data suppliers. We have the extensibility view and the integration view. So when we look at the software stack area, this is one of the, I suppose, one of the KPIs from the operations area. We're looking at innovation readiness. So this is your S/4HANA landscape on a release or feature package stack of no older than 2 years. And we look at the security compliance KPI, which is it on a feature package stack or support package stack of no older than 2 years. So there's I suppose, a very discrete difference between those two measures in that when we have an up-to-date feature pack or support package stack, this enables us for security compliance. But it does not mean that you can avail of all the latest innovations because you're not on the latest release. So security compliance does not mean innovation compliance, but if you are innovation ready or innovation compliant, you are security compliant by default. So we look at the readiness check key results. So this is a key enabler for some of the topics around integrations and seeing what interfaces are in your landscape and other areas around custom code and different compatibility scope items. We have the clean core tool status. So these are the current tools that are used to support clean core metrics and data collection. So these are the early watch alert, the online collectors, the ABAP call monitor, and the usage data from the systems. We have the extensibility view, which is probably currently the best known as the longest running part of the dashboard. So it shows that you are set up for ABAP cloud development. It shows how many customer objects in your system that are unused. We look to see how many customer objects that you've created are executed. And we look at the how many objects there are, whether they're ABAP Cloud or ABAP Classic business modifications. In the integrations, again, we look at the types of interfaces you have, how many of them, and what type of compliance level they are at. And then we go back to the operations view. So in here is this sits within the enduring operational efficiency KPI from operations, and it's one aspect of it is the more technical component of that. So in here we're looking at system health, and this is from the point of view of connectivity. So this is the heartbeat of the system. Is it available? Exceptions, so things like failed background jobs, background processing, and overall technical performance, looking at a 30-day trend. And from this, we can drill down into the individual systems to see each of these measures and what they look like for that system. And with the drill down, we can see the different metrics. So connectivity from the instance heartbeat and system heartbeat. We can look at exceptions, whether they're runtime errors, system logs, application logs, etc., and background processing. So this is just it's not intended to be an exhaustive overview of the tool, but this is something that's available for you to look at and play around with in the Cloud ALM demo system that's available on the Internet demo system, so you can take a look at it yourself. So with that, maybe Natalia, if you want to close off the session.
Yeah. Let's have maybe look at the Q&A.
Yeah.
I think most of the questions have already been answered. I see 2 hand raises from 2 people. I will let you know allowed to talk. So those 2 persons that have raised their hand, just unmute yourself and ask your question directly. We have here one question in the chat regarding the system demo on the 2 section ABAP Cloud and ABAP Classic. What is measured there actually?
Maybe Lucas, you're around. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah. Sorry, can you please repeat?
Regarding the system demo on the 2
Yeah.
sections, ABAP Cloud and ABAP Classic, what
yeah.
is measured there actually?
ABAP Cloud means the level A objects. We will dive deeper into this, but these are objects that are in ABAP language version, ABAP for cloud development. So this is the ABAP Cloud part, and ABAP Classic is what is called business modifications. To be very clear, and maybe I can put that in the answer as well, that you can see it. There is a good documentation of what the exact value is. Technically, this is candidates that are real modifications. So going from the technical modifications and then taking away what is a false positive, what's a technical thing in there, but it's the number of business modifications, or you could say business modification candidates in your system is under this tile of ABAP Classic. There is a whole PDF going into the details, what is excluded there, that you also know, like, okay, maybe there's still some room for false positives. It's being worked on. But I think these are the main topics there.
Okay. All right. Okay. While you can still enter your question, let me make you aware that we will, of course, continue next week, same time, same day, with the topic of achieving clean core extensibility levels, KPIs, and governance. So that will be the topic of next week's session. Do we have any other questions? I don't see any. As usual, we will upload the recording and the PDF to the Move to Cloud ERP YouTube channel. We have posted the link in the chat, so you can find it there. You should expect it by end of the week uploaded. Okay, don't see any other questions with that. Thank you to the SAP experts for holding these sessions. As mentioned, we will continue next week with our next session on the clean core topic. And with that, let me pause the recording.